So we had a decision out of the United States Supreme Court today that involved Donald Trump's birthright citizenship executive order. Now, this did not deal with birthright citizenship at all. They punted on that completely. They were only dealing with the ideas of nationwide temporary restraining orders and injunctions. And what the Supreme Court basically said, in a very boiled down sense, is that individual cases involving singular plaintiffs cannot lead to nationwide injunctions, and now you must have some kind of a class action lawsuit showing harm in multiple jurisdictions, multiple people in varying areas to get like a nationwide injunction. So basically they said, okay, you can still get the nationwide injunctions and these things to stop what Donald Trump is doing, but it's going to require additional steps. Now, I did not expect this move out of this Supreme Court, even for as bad as it is. I fully expected them to be more of the mindset of maintaining the status quo and not giving up judicial power back to either the executive or Congress by allowing things like this to happen. Now, this doesn't also change anything about the final outcome of a case. If at the end of the case they still decide that an executive order, for example, is unconstitutional or whatever, they will still be prevented from being, enforced that way. However, you can't get the temporary restraining orders while the case is ongoing unless you're in a class action. Like I said, did not expect this move out of the Supreme Court. However, I also want to point out that we're only here because in the run-up to the 2016 election, there was an empty seat on the United States Supreme Court that they didn't want to fill. Mitch McConnell purposely held it open, refused to let Barack Obama appoint Merrick Garland, of all people, to the bench at the time, said, nope, it's too close to the election. We don't want to. We want the people to get a deciding factor in who holds that seat. And they held that seat open for like 10 months. If Hillary would have won, we would have had a liberal-leaning judge on the Supreme Court, another justice, and we wouldn't have the 6-3 majority that we have now. Also, we would have had somebody replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and we wouldn't have Justice Amy Coney Barrett. So, to wrap up, it's a little harder to get nationwide injunctions, not impossible. It's a smaller win for Donald Trump, but they're going to make it sound like it's huge, and we'll have to see how it plays out.